By the way, Cole, just a heads up, the Mappa situation's getting worse.
How?
Oh my
find
god!
out.
How? It can't get worse.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm guessing Mappa, because we read an article last night about what happened, but they didn't actually mention anything pertaining to JJK. They just talked about Chainsaw Man's successes, and then the CEO talking about how they haven't made as much money, or they're still barely over their they're still just making barely enough money, I think. Or not, how did I say this? Fuck. They're positive. Their net gains are good, but not as good as you would think, basically, in terms of their money, their income.
Like
so
yeah, like
not break even. They're actually over. They're over. Like they're like 60-50. You go like they're over, but just barely over.
Okay.
Barely over.
Barely over, apparently. And I was wondering how is it possible when you have JJK under your wing? Like that's. But then they talked about the production and how the production. I forgot their names.
The production scheduling is not.
Yeah,
it's been
the committee.
horrible.
Like you have to pay them differently. The actual like animation staff, the studio itself.
Yeah,
because Chainsaw Man
they don't
was
get
the studio itself.
They don't get the extraneous revenue like the merch and stuff. They only get what the.
But to me, it was kind of weird too because I was like, hold on, are they really just relying on DVD sales and merchandise for their main income sources? I feel like that's a bit archaic. No.
Well, who the fuck owns a DVD player? That's what I want to know.
I do.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro.
So, damn.
No, she's right.
Yeah,
Blu-rays and merch in 2023.
I'm a dinosaur. I'll just go.
My computer doesn't even have a disk drive anymore.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Not mine anymore. Not mine.
I mean, like, if you have like a PS5,
my old one did, but then it broke.
Amen.
Maybe, but if you have any
I have one specifically because I still.
Wait. My PS3 that I still have kept up can play DVDs on it.
That's a PS.
My PS4 has no disc.
That's two.
My PS5 has no disc.
Oh, that's crazy.
You're
doing a disservice.
I showed you all the damn time. I showed it to you, bro. Like, I didn't get the disc drive version of it. But I'm thinking, like, hold on, like, bro, it feels like there has to be a better way to actually get revenue from these shows rather than just, rely on DVD sales and merchandise. Come on, that's way too archaic.
I mean, to be fair, it's like a pirate world in the anime sphere.
Yeah, of course, but there has. I don't know if it's gonna be TV licenses. You want more of those. Maybe you get more deals with, let's say, I don't know if there'll be deals you can make with, let's say, Netflix or Disney to actually expand where the MA is shown and get deals from them, so you have more revenue come from that, like actual deals with certain brands. Or let's say
I wouldn't trust Disney. Disney's been an absolute fucking shit show with anime.
Well, maybe not. You don't have to do just Disney. But what I'm saying here is that they have to really sit down, and maybe I'm not saying they haven't done this per se, but I feel like there still should be a way to innovate the anime production industry to where you don't have to rely on merch and fucking Blu-rays in 2023.
Bro, Cole, you have to remember these people are pretty archaic.
I know, which is horrible.
Cole, Japan still uses fax machines for everything.
The old heads control everything.
The old generation just won't die.
They seriously their businesses still rely on fax machines over there. It's insane.
No, this has to evolve. It's
true. It's 100% true.
Like, I feel like you can get people that do fan-funded projects, like the Berserk that's coming up. They could make somehow more money in terms of producing that than they would in the official JJK studio would get the money. It's like, how? But
that guy who did that One Punch Man short with Blast, Saitama and Garo, I guarantee could get a lot more money than what will happen in season 3.
It's like there has to be ways. Like, what if, let's say,
absent?
No, like, what if, for example, and this may be risky, but what if they actually add like something minute, like you have a fucking YouTube channel, or you have like even a stream, and you have it appear there first before it goes on television, and then you upload to YouTube when it airs on television. So you have like people that come for the extra, like let's say an hour early, some shit like that, and they have to pay for that stuff, and it's like actual Mappa exclusive. They have their own YouTube channel for that kind of stuff, or their own streaming platform, that kind of stuff. I feel like you would get people to subscribe to you on a regular basis, for early access content, and then you also get ad revenue from the uploads that you see on certain platforms like YouTube, maybe even let's say Facebook, that kind of stuff, and then you get that revenue, which from that one video and that one video alone, you'd make way more money than just make like barely over after you go through the production company's payments and also your own staff payments. Like to me, it's like, and that's because they were so hyped about doing Chainsaw Man, because Chainsaw Man, it was the studio exclusive that they worked on. It was their own studio. They didn't have any other production staffing going on. It was them, Mappa solely. And that, of course, meant more hurdles, but they kept all the revenue from that. They kept all the sales in the DVDs, Blu-rays, and merchandise. But it's like, yo, like, are we really going to just rely on that for 2023 when there's so many more avenues? Like, I don't understand, bro.
No, even if they do expand, like, are the staff going to get treated right? Because that's like the main.
That's
Still are hearing horror stories of $1 an hour. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm also, I mean,
because they're like the heart of the studios, man, and they're getting treated like trash.
I don't know if it was true or not, but I remember, wasn't like a few years ago, like 2 years ago, where like someone was paid like nothing or damn near nothing to make a trailer, I think, for JJK season 1 or something like that.
Yes.
Like,
I do remember that.
How is this possible, bro? Like, it's
and then
sense.
I remember the same thing happened to Chainsaw Man trailer. Like, wow, like they were like, oh wow,
I was like, whoa, this is horrific. What's going on with it?
It's like it really is damn near close to slave labor that they have for animators. It's like, wow, all right.
Like it is. You can't even show.
And I think and Mappa's right now is producing the most complaints as of recent.
Sounds about right.
Like a lot of people are coming out and voicing their complaints, and it's solely.
Well, I think it's also
stuff.
because the hypocrisy. Because you saw it on your stream, Cole, like the guy who made Mappa in the first place branched off because he was tired of all the other animated studios basically doing what he's doing now, and it's like, well, fuck me, man, what happened?
Yeah, well, I think it's mainly because they've been trying to like acquire like big name series, and they're getting too much on their plate, which is like you have like recently like Hell's Paradise not looking as good as what it should have been, and
that was
like
Hell's Paradise. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, it's so bad, but it was very average, like very. What you see in your typical isekai anime. It was very run the mill, and I was like,
it's literally like one of the series that was hyped up next to Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, and they got treated the worst out of the three.
And maybe part of the issue too is that they have too many projects at once. You know,
that is also a problem.
Because they have like what they have AOT, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Like even outside, like me, spread too thin. Oh fuck. Oh shit.
Even outside the great stuff, there's just too much fucking trash that they're animating nowadays. I'm talking outside of Mappa too. I'm talking about like in general. Yeah. Like the anime scene is bleached with too many isekais.
I wonder how much of that.
They feel they need to animate every isekai on the planet. So.
Yeah, because I do wonder, like, how good are those shows locally in Japan? I do wonder, because I'm pretty sure they must do it because they must get some traction by the local fan bases. I do wonder, but like in general, it feels like they're missing out on so much. Like, it's harder on the staff when they're focusing on, let's say, random isekai shows, and then they have to do, by the way, Chainsaw Man, high quality show. We gotta do this right. It's like, bro, what the fuck you mean? Like, how many shows do you like Ufotable do on a regular basis? Like, not that many, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, they don't.
Mainly like they do on like daily.
They mainly do like movies and like occasional series, but
yeah, like if they do a season, if they do a seasonal show, it's just that seasonal show. They don't do like anything else that season. Again, outside of planning for a movie down the line.
Yeah, and I think like the president of like Mappa wanted to follow their route when that's like almost unattainable when he has like this many anime.
And then with studio at most, I think they do like 4 things at most. It's like not guaranteed. But in Mappa, of course, again, right now it's like I'm king. I can have like an army of anime.
So then the issue, I think, also, and I think it's unfortunate, but I think also part of the issue is that maybe there is a high demand for these trash anime in Japan. I'm not. Maybe there's not, but if there is, then they probably feel compelled to work on all these shows, and they're gonna cut corners as much as they can. And if they're gonna be treated, because like it gets so bad for people going to the fucking hospital. It's like this doesn't make any
Dude,
sense, man. It's like they're working so
I
hard.
think
You're going to the hospital, bro.
People
I think
die.
they pump out
Oh
all
my
these
gosh.
like trash.
I haven't heard any deaths, but I know
Yeah.
people went to the hospital. I don't know deaths.
Oh no, there are deaths, Cole.
No,
there
but
are. There are.
There have
Like
been.
the fact
they
that
are
Japan
deathful.
culturally is one of the only communities in the entirety of the world that in multiple, even animes, you have people dying of
Yes.
exhaustion and they work an office job.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
don't
even
hear
outside of
anything
anime and
close
manga.
to that in
I
any
mean,
country
the
ever.
the isekais
It is
must
Japanese
be
specific.
the isekais must be the Japanese equivalent of like shitty reality television in the States because
Oh yeah.
yeah,
for
we're like
sure.
Probably.
nobody actually likes it, but enough people watch it that they keep pumping it out. You know?
Well,
It's
some of them
it's
are
that
good.
Yeah.
mind off
Yes.
kind of program where it's like,
Yes.
haha, shit happened again. Isn't this funny?
Yeah, like total brain rot bullshit, but people still watch it.
Yep.
It's really sad, honestly, because like
It is
maybe
sad.
because if the demand is there, then fair enough, fine. But they have to find a way to actually produce it in a way that's not going to
Yeah.
kill their actual stat members.
I mean,
And
some
I guess,
isekais are good, and it's sad because they get a bad rep, but like some
Right.
of them are good. Like
Yep.
Yeah,
slime,
I
slime is
feel-
awesome. I
Yeah.
love slime.
I feel like studios
Yeah.
need a hard roof of how many animes they can do per season. Like no, you can't do 6 shows and then you have 5 that you're doing for like a couple seasons down the line. Like no, you need to plan what you're gonna do for that year. You can only do like let's say at most 6 shows, and then you can split them up into 2 shows per season. Don't do like 17 shows in 1 year. Like you can't do that.
Well, they should pull like Ubisoft, where they have multiple locations working on different things specifically, so they could work on a bunch of different
Right.
things. But
is
it's
there enough?
spread out.
But if you do that, then you have to actually abide by, let's say, that country's sort of yeah,
Oh, I'm
let's
not
say
even
their
saying
payments,
like
their
the different
wages.
countries.
Because like, well, that's the issue. It's like I think that for a lot of these different, and I don't know, maybe it's a thing with them, but now they're getting to the point where I think they're outsourcing more and more as time goes
Yep.
on for anime production, but they still aren't paying, I think, a lot of people fair wages for what they
Yep.
do. I think arguably. And if you
Yeah.
have another studio, let's say you have an Australian branch that's getting paid better wages compared to the Japanese branch,
You
the
have
Japanese branch
guys
is gonna
going
feel
there.
they're gonna feel like, what the fuck? They're getting paid more money over Australia to do the same thing that we're essentially doing.
Right.
And then
You
that's
see,
what kind of
there-
casket from there.
There is an animator short, by the way, and that is because they are recognizing, hey, I could go over to Australia, Thailand, Korea, all these other
In Japan,
places.
or you mean globally?
Japan?
Japan
I just mean
and
Japan.
Okay.
Japan. Like they realize I could go somewhere else and I can get paid way better and have less of a workload than do things in Japan, and then vice versa. You're going to see a lot more
China's
people
doing that.
now. Yeah, and then you're going to see a lot more people now in Japan kind of not want to be animators. Like that's a problem.
I do recall seeing a few years ago how there were animators in Japan that are moving to China because they're getting paid more money
Yep.
in China
Yep.
compared to what they were in
it's
Japan,
happening.
which was like surprising.
Yep.
I was like, oh, that's not a good
Yeah, I
sign.
think pretty
It's
soon.
literally
I think pretty soon Chinese anime are gonna get
Oh, it's
really
gonna be
good.
crazy.
I don't know
No,
about
like
that.
nothing.
We're
No,
already
I
I
feel like they have been
don't
getting
know.
better. They have
Well, on a
been getting better.
consistently better basis, Revan. Like I mean, like
Yeah,
seasonally consistently. That's what we're
But
talking
we're
about.
already seeing that though. There's a bunch
Are
of
we?
Chinese
Yeah,
developers
we've been seeing
making
this for
anime-like
years.
content on Crunchyroll even.
I've seen the
Hmm.
Crunchyroll anime. I've seen maybe like 1 or 2, and they're okay. But like, I think I'm not too sure about seeing like, let's say, Chainsaw Man levels over here
Well,
from
they're still
Chinese
in their
anime.
infancy, obviously. But
Well,
it's
I think
remember-
the
I literally-
Koreans had a chance to. I think the Koreans care more about K-pop stuff than do anime stuff. So they're not going to allocate a lot of their stuff to like anime.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. So.
Bro, I
Well,
remember how
But
they
Thailand, I hear, is apparently
fumbled.
doing some shit. So that's cool.
I remember how they fumbled Feng Shingji's anime, bro.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
seen.
God.
Nah, bro. Nah, like, yo.
It looks.
But to
so
be fair, you could
trash.
argue it would look bad, bro. It looked bad. I'm like, okay, I'm out. There's no way I'm watching the shit. The shit looks trash. The CG was a poor quality. Everything was a poor make. The dialogue was stiff as fuck.
Oh
The
my
characters-
God.
everything was horrible. No.
Bad.
That, and I remember also the same thing for, I think it was like Tales of the Demons and Gods. I was like, bro, this is booty cheeks, bro.
I actually
Nah,
didn't
I'm
see
okay,
that
bro.
one, but I did
Booty
hear
cheeks.
it was bad.
Yeah, so they have to work on it. But if they're getting better, which is fair, but if they're getting better at the expense of Japan getting worse, that's not necessarily a good thing either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It should be a healthy
Yeah, that isn't
rivalry
a good
between
either.
the two.
Yeah, that should be
Ideally.
a healthy rivalry.
Ideally.
Yeah, but like going back to like Jujutsu Kaisen's like and Mappa situation, like I'm just gonna let you know now, like there could be a dip in quality for like this season. There's a possibility because of like the production schedule and whatnot. And
I don't want them to get One Punch Man season 3 because I can just tell it would just be terrible.
You don't want what?
If they make it like season 1 instead of season 2, it would be amazing.
The only way that's possible.
But the problem is knowing that what they would have to do to their animators to make that happen. I'm kind of like, you know what? I'll sacrifice myself. I'd rather have someone else do it. I don't want.
Well, that's
the problem too is that
it's like why isn't One Piece like a once every 2 weeks, once every month type of anime? Like take.
Oh, we've had this discussion for years, man.
That's my thing. It's like you're already catching up to Oda, so you might as well chill, work on the episodes specifically, condense them into something a little bit sharper, a little bit nicer. Because as much as I love those Gear 5 episodes, I think they were beautifully animated. No one can deny that they were stretched out to an obnoxious degree. And that's unfortunate because it takes away from the impact of it.
You have like the low quality
Bajrang gun should have been like should have been, I mean, they made the same mistake in the anime in Dressrosa where they extended that punch to such a degree that it took away from the impact frames.
Bro, what a bullshit fight this was.
Like it should just be like an immediate fucking punch, just like that drop kick that Luffy landed to Dofi's face. Like we need the immediacy. You know? It can't just be like something you're winding up for like 3 fucking episodes.
Does Black Clover have that? Does Black Clover have that issue where it drags out?
Black Clover, from what I remember, it kind of was doing like the Naruto or the Boruto thing where they were doing a lot of it. They were like doing
a filler.
Of like, that was like, this is stretching out content, true, but it's kind of like we don't really need this. All you gotta do is like, I feel like.
I'm definitely biased, so I feel like I can't give my opinion. Fucking hate.
But I will say for One Piece, if they wanted to really stretch it, we've talked about it. Do the fucking cover stories.
Listen, I heard him. I heard through my amazing wireless headphones. I love them. Nah, listen. I see what you're saying, still. I see what everyone's saying, but I think the problem is they have to keep in mind that they have to be weekly because that's their television deal. It's like they have to work it out to where they're actually coming out on a regular basis on television. And then the problem is that you can go for filler, but and this is what people kind of forget. Like One Piece did have some filler arcs that were good, but for the most part, they've had filler arcs that also.
They had one filler arc that was good.
But filler is seen as ultimately a net negative when you're watching an anime, particularly when you have the television, particularly on television in Japan. The viewership always tanks whenever you're watching filler. And this is the problem we have with Bleach, where Bleach is notorious for having filler after filler. That's why the anime ultimately ended. They had the bound filler. They had some weird like Amagai bullshit.
The Zanpakuto Rebellion.
Yeah, the Zanpakuto Rebellion filler.
The Mod Soul Rebellion, which is basically the exact same thing.
Rebellion was really good.
And then Bleach got canceled after some time because they didn't go with the final. They didn't go through with the Fourth Ninja War. They didn't go through with the Thousand Blood War. And then also another prime example that we can look at in modern day was Boruto. Not Naruto. Boruto is mostly fucking filler. Boruto is canceled. Like they have literally, well, not canceled, but they literally paused the entire production of Boruto. I don't know what's going on in Boruto right now, but like it's
ongoing. But it's ongoing.
I mean, all I know is that Sarda has a controversial outfit. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it looks fine to me, but.
The problem with Boruto and why it had so much filler, not to excuse the quality of filler, because a lot of the filler is not good. Some of it's alright, but it just doesn't fit the tone of the show. The problem with Boruto's filler and why there's so much of it is because it's a monthly manga. They should not have done that.
Well, yeah, that's
there's not enough to have it. There's not enough. You have a weekly anime. You have a weekly anime for a monthly manga. What did you expect?
Yeah, hold on. Real quick, correction. Yeah, Bleach didn't get canceled, right? No, but Bleach ended after they didn't finish the actual series. They didn't continue on with the 1,000 Year Blood War, so they stopped it after the trash bond. The trash.
If y'all want to complain about filler, like,
trash arc, whatever. I forgot what it's
Full bring.
Oh, trash dog shit. Yes.
Oh yeah, but full bring arc.
But then also, but then for Boruto, and I guess for other series too, normally when you have filler does drop the viewership of the audience normally, and that's not a good sign when you want to maintain audiences and you want to maintain a lot of viewership. That's one of the key things about television. And you could argue that in the case of Toei Animation, with what they've done in instead of having filler, what they've done now is that they've taken breaks where they have, let's say, a break week where they give you like a Bartolomeo recap, right? And then they give you that kind of stuff too. Like we've seen with JJK, which is kind of more shocking. That's why they're having issues around where JJK had like a month-long break. They had a whole month off, and so they can focus on production. They can focus on the quality of the upcoming stuff later on.
And they're still having issues.
Yeah, because they had Hell's Paradise prior to it, and then they had Chainsaw Man like literally a year ago. So they I think they had AOT earlier this year, if I remember correctly. I don't remember.
Well, regardless of, I think that the issue ultimately is that it just comes down to like when you compare One Piece like to, let's say, other shows like My Hero or let's say JJK or maybe I think even Blue Lock. These shows are seasonal shows, and I don't think it can work for One Piece in the same way because One Piece needs to be weekly because that's what their contract is, as far as I understand. And also, the fillers would just tank the viewership exponentially in Japan if they did like I think there was like a before Hokage Island there was like a marine filler where they go over and they fight some random people.
People like that one.
They infiltrate that marine base. Mind you, One Piece filler personally I find is better than the average filler. So I don't necessarily mind it as much.
I think in Wano Country it's been a lot better because I think in Wano Country what they've done is that they've taken the filler and they've incorporated it in a way that's more conducive with the actual Cam material.
Right. I was gonna say like an easy serviceable. Right. I feel like an easy way to overcome this filler is that you have the author of any series talk to the anime production staff, give them like a basic synopsis for how they would envision this filler arc, and just slap on it anime only canon. That's what you do.
So like the gap whenever we came back to the Straw Hats, like that would be like a prime filler point to put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you have the author's approval to say that it's anime only canon.
To be like, oh hey, this would be like this is how Robin got hurt. I'm gonna vaguely allude to it, but like you can draw it all out. She does like a demonic flirt.
Yeah, like as long as the author approves of it, that I feel like would make people be more interested in the filler arc.
So a lot of times it's hard to work that because like a lot of times authors don't want to necessarily do that. It's like it depends on I think on the author. I think like Oda himself has said before that he kind of views it as like competition with the anime. So a lot of times if they need tips and guidance, they will ask Oda. But for the most part, they kind of have to do it on their own. And I think also too because authors they're also so busy because they have to do like how many chapters for like a lot of these different seasons, and they're getting pushed to the brink too in terms of their workload. They have like 4 hours of sleep or 3 hours of sleep, health issues. Like Tabata has health issues. Togashi has health problems. So does Oda too. It's like everyone's just like working to death in Japan over there. It's ridiculous.
It's not that Tabata has health issues. Also, it's that his wife had a
right, and also.
That shouldn't even be in the equation. Like, you should, I mean, maybe this is just the whole system in general, the way they've laid it out. Like, these are your prime money makers. If you're a company, you want to be protecting those people and their health. That should be your top priority.
No, run them into the ground.